we have the conversation between Varda and Manwë, which brings us into our climactic scene where she's going to have, is this one-on-one time between her and Ingwe, or does she actually talk to all three of them? Because I feel like if it's the three of them, we're going to lose.
It should seem very personal, so
right.
I kind of feel like one-on-one is better for that.
You know
right,
what?
because so far it's been her experience with them has been very impersonal.
Right. You know
now
what
we're
I would
making
like to do
personal.
is do a very brief montage where she kind of talks to Finwë and Elwë individually, but we're not privy to the details of that conversation. And then we turn around and she's talking specifically to Ingwe.
Okay.
And she says, like, I've spoken to your compatriots and you know, I really think what is her final decision? Is her final decision I follow the will of the King of the Valar, but I think this is a bad idea, or does she come down on the side of, like, you know what, I was wrong. In spite of the fact that they won't be able to see the stars, this is the best thing for them.
Yeah, because for some of them it is like I want to make it clear that it's not a cut and dry issue that all of the elves belong in Valinor and all of the elves belong in Middle Earth.
Right.
You know, it's not that simple.
So there you go. That to me is the main conflict and drives her final decision. Is she has that crisis moment where she's like, oh, almost completely right, and then it seems kind of crappy because she's basically immediately reversing herself. But she then has the moment with Ingwe, and I like that better because when she has Ulmo making the decision, it is a very disconnected Valar making decisions for the elves moment, right? And if she has the discussion with Ingwe and decides, like, oh yes, Ingwe's place is at Manwë's side.
Yeah,
then that contrast is a significant one to me.
Right. So we need to figure out now the thing that I've been putting off this entire time, which is, what does Ingwe say to her that's going to make that case? Silence.
The Vanyar obviously are very close to the Valar.
Right.
Yeah.
It has to be that Ingwe has found something in Valinor that he never had before and that he never knew in Middle Earth at Cuivianen.
Right. I think he spontaneously writes a prayer. Like he makes up a song. They have to have a conversation, but like, I mean, the way I would say it is that he is having trouble articulating exactly why he feels like his place is here, and then he sings a song. A short prayer to
or recites starts going into verse.
Like he sings a prayer specifically to the stars, like he's in praise of the stars. So it doesn't bother him that he can't see the stars. He knows what the stars look like. He knows that they're still there, right? Like it's not the fact that he can't see them has not really diminished their beauty for Ingwe in particular. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe because he can see their source now.
Yeah, exactly that. Right?
And
like
the other thing he could do is it could be a hymn to light in general, so it can look like it's focused on the two trees at first, and then shift to mention stars again, and then shift to mention the Valar who made the trees and the stars.
Right.
Yeah,
and that they.
Whoops.
What
We
happened?
lost him in mid-thought.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So a poem about trees and stars, but it's even better because we can see the Valar who made the trees and stars. Hang on, Brian. Let me let you in real quick. Hang on. I'll let you finish your thought in a second. And you were saying?
For him, the ultimate source of light is the Valar themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I would actually go the other way with it, Maria. I would have him start with Starlight because that was his introduction to light, and then go to the trees, and then talk about the Valar.
Okay.
Just because it makes more, you know what I mean? Like the first light I ever knew was the light of the stars, and then I came to Valinor and saw the two trees, and I thought I had known true light, right? But then I got to know the Valar, and now I understand the source of all beauty in the world, right? That kind of
Okay.
sense, right? That seems to me a better progression.
Okay. All right. So we go from yeah. Now, does she go back to Olmo and express this?
No, I think Olmo kind of. Well, again, we're going to lean into the fact that he might go bad.
Yeah.
Olmo is kind of just grumpy, and she doesn't really have a moment with him where she says, like, "Sorry, I kind of have to do this." Like, I think we have like a see you guys soon sort of farewell scene where she has like choice things to say, and they share a look again where Olmo is like, "This is not right, and I'm grumpy about it." And she's kind of, it's going to be okay, and I'm not going to let you go bad either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That's a lot to say without saying it. But I know you love that, so.
No. They'll be, like, she'll have actual words to say while sharing these looks with him. And I think it should be an open question. Like, what is his...
His response is going to have to wait till later episodes.
Yes, I agree. If what would be interesting is I would really like her to do the Galadriel thing. Hang on, we lost him again. Hang on. You're not on YouTube. Give me a second. There you go. Okay. So what I would like to see is I would like to see her do the Galadriel thing where she has a thing to say to each of them, to each of the three of them.
Yeah, that seems perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives Elmo the knowing looks. Elmo gives her knowing looks back. She gives him more knowing looks. We cut to the return of the ambassador.
Is this a gift giving scene as well?
It could be, but I don't think we need it to be.
I think they should have new clothes. Like, they should dress them in new clothes.
Yes.
Specifically 100%. For going back home.
Right.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Oh, you know what we forgot? Where do we interject the and back in Crevenin scene?
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I'd forgotten.
I think you can go.
Probably.
I think
can we do that?
This and the scene that she has with Manwë. Or not.
Well,
the scene where she talks to the three of them individually, and then cut back to Cuivian, and then come back, and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or we could do it after the tapestry scene.
Yeah, that could work. Okay.
Because that's about like halfway through.
Yeah.
That's like that. That's actually literally the halfway point between the time that they arrive in Valinor and the time that they arrive in Crevenin.
And the tapestry obviously refers back to Muriel, so it's a good transition.
Right. That's a good place to go back to Muriel. Yep. Okay. No, I like it better there. It works.
All right. Brandon likes grumpy Olmo. Okay. So that gets us to the return of the ambassadors. Muriel jumps into Finway's arms. Everybody's thrilled. And we go back to the frame. Oh wait, we don't go back to the frame in this one. I think that I remember. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to have to do. Oh my God, Brian, killing me! You're killing me, Smalls.
Sorry, I'm doing this on cellular data right now because
I know
something
I've done
is wrong with my internet in the apartment. So
yeah,
we're almost done anyway, and then we can all go out of business.
I think we're gonna have to do like a two session series just to work out the frame solidly. So that's it, because otherwise we're going to wind up having to change it like 6 or 7 times, and I'd rather not.
Certainly, I think we need to finish and figure out exactly where the frame is going to end, since we only got through about half of it last time. I'm comfortable enough knowing the beats of what's going to happen in the episode. Episode 2 is the extrapolation of where she realizes that she's upset about her mother in spite of the fact that the most immediate thing is that her tutor or friend or whatever is leaving.
Friend. Okay.
And that's enough to know for now.
So we'll talk. We'll figure that out. We'll figure all that stuff out another time. Real quick, to make any adjustments that we need to make, we've already talked about episode 5. I think we've pretty much got a handle on episode 5. 4. Episode 4, when we were able to make repairs from the removal of the other ferry trip.
Yeah, I don't think that needs to be redone.
Okay, so we got that. There was something else that suffered as a result of this as well. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Episode 3 is the wedding, and so depending on how things went with this, I wasn't sure what the implications were going to be in episode 3. Also, with was Morway going to be introduced as a character? Just things like that. I don't think it really impacts it too much, though.
No, and I think that we can, as long as we keep it to one person coming to Finway during their wedding night to be like, "Hey, do you need to get over here?" I think we can not work our way about the whole comedy of manners problem. Which I thought was a little much, but I thought that 2 visits into that was okay. 3 was a little much, but they didn't like that at all. So if we keep it to 1, I think we can slip it past them.
Yeah. Okay. I remembered what we were supposed to kung fu fight about. The fact that Ingwe should have a sister because making him an original elf is stupid. Yeah.
Well, we've already fought about that a few times. And they kept saying no. So
I can't. Like, there's only so much we can do.
I'm ready. I'm still ready to fight that battle. I was supposed to fight it like 3 weeks ago when we actually had the session with them, but I was way.
And also it was really off topic, and we had a lot to talk about that night anyway.
Yep.
So,
I don't think you have much more opportunity to fight that one.
Yeah.
At this point, all we can do is leave it out of the script where it never gets mentioned.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the angle I'm hoping to take.
Which is fine. If we never put it in the script, it's never in there.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily have a problem with Indus being his daughter, other than it made it a little bit more difficult to get her marriage to Finway past him.
Yeah.
I feel like we've kind of worked that out.
Yeah.
So I think we're okay there. I'm trying to think of any other changes that they wanted us to make that impacted anything. Episode 4, I think we're okay now. Episode 5, although we had to change for episode 5, is that instead of the Vanyar already being there on Tyrion when the Noldor show up, which I do really like, it's fine. They arrive together.
Yeah, that's not that difficult to accommodate.
Yeah.
One thing we need to work out with that is the timing of the forming of the Kalakirya, the split in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where Tyrion's going to be. That might need to be looked at.
Or we could just not talk about it. Like, it could just be there already. Yeah. I mean, as much as as cool as it is, it might be easier just to have it be there and not address it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then the question is it there in this episode? Is it there in episode 2 already?
We lost Brian again. Well, it could, but we don't need to see it. You know?
Well, if we're gonna have a scene at the sea,
but that doesn't necessarily.
We're gonna see Omo. The Peluria are really high mountains. You don't just pop over them to the sea.
That's true. That's true.
So if the
Well, they have to
Calcareous
get them. They get them into Valinor somehow anyway.
They do, but we don't show that. So it's the type of thing where
we could easily just not show it either way.
Yeah, he could just be
Like,
sitting
if
on
we
the shore
don't-
with timeouts behind him.
Right. We
Stuff that.
don't. Yeah, like as cool as as cool as it is. The word I'm not going to try to pronounce on the internet. As cool as that is. Shut up. Leave me alone.
Technically Kalakirya, but it's okay.
What did I say wrong? Kalakirya.
You got the hard American R. You got to get it. It's got to be.
You got to roll it a little bit.
All languages sound American when I speak them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got schooled in Tolkien readership by a 7-year-old, so like I'm.
Maybe you got schools. I got other stuff going on. I don't feel bad at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but I didn't have other things going on when I was 7.
I guess that's true.
I don't have I don't have a viable excuse there. So, other than the fact that my parents didn't allow me to read Tolkien until I was
well, there you go. See,
until I was 14. So, there you go.
My.
Yeah.
You're done. You're good.
Yeah. Although I remember very vividly when I was like probably 7 or 8 years old, my father reciting the first paragraph of The Hobbit to me.
Oh,
as like a bedtime story.
Kind of cute.
Yeah.
And telling me about hobbits.
That's cool.
So anyway, I didn't even know what it was then. I just knew I was like, ooh, that's kind of a cool idea. And years later, here I am letting it slowly take over my life. Okay.
Worst face.
We love you too, Nick.
What's that? Okay. Anyway, I heard somebody say my name, and I don't know why.
That's really cute, Nick. We love you too.
Aw. Anyway, so not you. You guys aren't taking over my life. Tolkien's work is taking over my life.
That's the same.
And you know what?
Really bad.
And you know what? I'm okay with it.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Me too.
So
Where were we?
okay, we were ending. I think we're
Wrapping
good.
it up.
Are there any things that anybody can think of that were altered that we need to address? Because I think we only had up until episode 4. That's all we showed them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you guys feel like we're doing this year, like schedule-wise? I think we're doing pretty fantastic, but I'm an optimist, so.
Well, I mean, I'm having to do weekly for a few weeks here,
Yeah.
and we got Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, that's
Thanksgiving.
true. Are people free the Saturday night of Thanksgiving?
I am probably free, but if a bunch of people aren't going to be free, then I'm not gonna try to push people to do it when I probably could be allowing my wife to recover from having my family here.
Yeah.
Right.
I probably
Saturday
couldn't have
is
said that on the
actually
internet, but you know.
Thanksgiving is actually going to be on Saturday for me because we don't get Thursday off in Taiwan. So
Right.
I'm meeting all my friends.
Brandon wants us to make Elvish great again.
No, stop that.
Never. He's banned. He's banned forever. He's banned for life.
All right. Well, why don't we end this episode?
I may be hungover next weekend. Or not next weekend. The weekend after is the thing I was going to say. So if I'm not here, you can assume that I'm face down in a ditch.
Is that the founding of Taiwan as a nation?
No, like I'm having American Thanksgiving on Saturday with American friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My wife bought me a fried turkey leg over in China.
Oh my God.
When I was there. Yeah, it was terrible. It was like
was it? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Well, they don't have turkeys.
Well, right, but they do have turkeys. They have turkeys in Taiwan. I know that.
They don't really have turkeys in China. They if they do, they don't have a lot of them. All right, let's.
What did you eat?
What?
You just said it was a turkey leg.
Off, then we can all talk about turkeys.
Yeah. Let me do the thing. I got to do the thing. All right. Well, it has actually not been all that long a discussion, but this has been the SilmFilm Script Discussion Season 2, Episode 2 Remix. If you are watching this on YouTube in the future, please like and share the videos if you like and want to share them. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye.